Let's freaking go. The Dallas Stars have just beat the defending Stanley Cup champions, the Vegas Golden Knights, in Game 7. And myself, along with a lot of other hockey fans, should be pumped with this outcome. It really is just good for hockey. If you don't know, maybe you're a new hockey fan, there is a rule that allows teams to place players on the LTIR, which means long-term injury reserve. And for the second year in a row now, the Vegas Golden Knights have been able to place certain players into the LTIR, which then frees up that player's money. So this year, again, it was Mark Stone who was placed on the LTIR, which then allowed Vegas to go out and get Thomas Hertl from the Sharks and Noah Hanifin from the Calgary Flames at this year's trade deadline. So one thing I will say, it is a very dumb rule, and it's such an easy fix for the NHL, which is why it blows my mind that nothing has really been done. And let's be real, if any other team was in the same position as Vegas, yes, they would have done the exact same thing. It really all just boils down to if it's fair or not for other teams, and it's so not fair for other teams. It really is not. In a sense, and bear with me here, but in a sense it is cheating because you're going into the playoffs $10 million over the cap, which certainly would help any team for that matter. But the only way this is allowed is if you have a player that you can put on the LTIR before trade deadline. So like, really? Are you kidding me? I don't know. So there's clearly some flaws with this, and I know that this was one of the main discussions at this year's general managers meeting. So here's hoping it gets fixed, because at the end of the day, it's not fair. It really isn't. You can't honestly tell me that this is fair for all the other teams in the NHL. You know, the thing that makes me mad the most is it's really not that hard of a fix. Like, my solution would be, yes, you can still make all those acquisitions at the deadline, but come playoffs, if your injured player who lacerated a spleen all of a sudden is good to come back, you have to ice a lineup that falls under the cap. You can still have Hertl and Hanifin on your roster, but at least you have to make a lineup that falls under the NHL salary cap. That's just my thoughts, but this is honestly awesome for Dallas. It just goes to show how good of a team they really are, because they just took on one of the best teams in the league that probably had a few more extra bodies than they, don't really necessarily deserve. And like I said at the beginning of this video, guys, this is just good for hockey. If Vegas went on to win another cup, they would have been public enemy number one. And I don't think a lot of people would necessarily dub them Stanley Cup champs because of the whole LTIR stuff they've been involved with. So this really is awesome. Attaboy Dallas. I'm so proud of you guys. Well-deserved series win. The Stars are like a second favorite team of mine. I love Jamie Benn. He was my favorite player growing up. Honestly, if you're new to the channel, if you're a Stars fan, like, what do you think? If you're a Vegas fan, like, maybe you're probably salty, drop a comment down below, as I welcome in all comments. If you're new to the channel, as always, like, feel free to leave a like. That's the best way of showing your support, and subscribe. We're on the road to 5K subs, so if you can help me get there, that'd be nice. But yeah, like, that's just my initial thoughts on the whole situation. It is good for hockey. This is something that, like, Vegas, if they went on, like, it's really, and like I said, it just boils down to, is it fair? It's not fair. I get it. If any other team was in the same position, obviously it's not cheating. Like, there's nothing in the rule books that's like they're taking advantage of the rules, but there's nothing that says you can't do it. But it's just the fact that it only falls for, teams that and it's crazy that it's been Vegas the last 2 years now, and the same player as well. So there's just something that needs to be done for sure, and I think that will be maybe as soon as I don't think it'll be fixed next year, but maybe the following season after, because something needs to change here. So guys, if you're new to the channel, as always, feel free to leave a like. Dallas Stars, that's going to be an awesome series. I cannot wait to see the Stars in Colorado. Yeah, it'll be good to see. I'm very curious to see how that goes, but man, like, kudos to Dallas, because they just beat a team that was, $10 million over the cap, add a lot of, extra bodies that they don't necessarily deserve, like I said. So, Stars fans, let's go. I'm happy for you guys, and I gotta give huge props to all the Stars fans that showed up. Like, man, like, that's one of probably the best buildings, like, atmospheres in all of the playoffs. The fans are standing, like, the whole time, so you love to see it. It's good to see. Yeah, and shout out to my buddy Tanner. Tanner, if you're watching this, let's go Stars. I'm cheering for, that's my second favorite team, obviously. I'll be cheering for the Oilers, but if they go out, I usually tend to cheer for the Stars. So that's all I got in this one, guys. Please drop a comment down below. I'm very curious as to what you guys think, but yeah, at the end of the day, this is what was necessary. I'm happy this was the outcome of the series, and this is what I predicted. I think I said stars in 7. So that's all I got for this one, guys. If you're new to the channel, thank you. Don't be average when you can be above average. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.